Let's talk about Texas and flood country there, and specifically just on government staffing. It is far, far too early to draw any lines between a lack of government staffing, cuts, and what happened here. But much like after the plane accident, the plane crash in Washington, D.C. in January this year, people are going to look. Why was there only one person here? I'm sure people are going to be asking, why was the person who coordinated the emergency response not on? But it seems to me, David, there's just a bigger question as we move forward for the next flood, the next storm, the next hurricane. And we've been talking about this an awful lot over the last 6 months. The group of people that put together Project 2025, the group of people in Washington that have talked about cuts. Well, they're talking about cutting 8-9% of the budget. And we've always said this, the 8 or 9% of the budget that is actually what government does to help people, to save people's lives beyond defense, Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, and interest on the debt. There was one story I read this weekend about a county commissioner. They wanted to get sirens and first alert systems for the area most affected. And the county commissioner just said, on the local level, we don't have $50,000 to have an early emergency system. We didn't get, grants from Washington, D.C., and we can't do that ourselves. Talk about generally, again, looking past this specific flood and looking to the next flood, the next hurricane, the next earthquake, how important it is that we actually staff up this 8, 9, 10% of our federal government that is so responsible for saving people's lives day in, day out.
So, Joe, my feeling is that among those who are so eager to cut government at every level, there's almost a contempt, a dismissal of the services that government provides to citizens. And it's only in moments like this that we remember that we require absolute commitment and excellence from the people we often don't see, who are, sitting in buildings, monitoring the weather and preparing plans that we never hear about. And I think just the simple idea that restoring pride that we have as citizens in the work that our government does and restoring pride among the people who work for government at the state, federal, state, local, and federal level is the best single thing we could do. Money's tight. There's a lot of fat in the federal budget. Everybody knows that. But it's essential, and we see it right now in front of us, that the quality of response from federal workers, state workers, has to be absolutely at the top level, or many, many people will die. And so here's a moment to think about that and then think, how do we want to make the political choices?
So the editorial board of the San Antonio Express-News says the fatal Texas flooding demands search for answers along with the missing. The board writes in part, quote, "Was there anything that could have, indeed should have been done to move people away from the raging water and avert tragedy? While hundreds of people continue to search for missing adults and children, there's no reason other people can't or shouldn't be searching for answers. We have the wherewithal to do both. One of the differences between those two searches is that with the former, the people engaged in it are completely aligned in what they are seeking. With the latter, we're not as assured that federal, state, and regional leaders are eager to dig for information that might reveal truths they don't want to find, or rather, that they don't want the public to learn. What matters is that the urgency with which we search for the missing is not allowed to wane after they are found. It must be maintained and applied to the search for answers that those who survived and the memories of those who perished deserve." And the Dallas Morning News editorial board has a piece entitled "So Many What Ifs Haunt Guadalupe River Flood," and it reads in part this: Once this initial response has ended and recovery begins, state and local officials need to wrestle with improved warning systems. We need to understand whether improved staffing or technology at either the National Weather Service or the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration could give more accurate advance warning. Local officials, meanwhile, must review their own practices and policies. Should they have acted to require people to move away from the Guadalupe River as the rain began to fall? Should people be permitted to live in camps so close to the riverbanks? Those are haunting questions now of what if we could have done 1,000 things differently and perhaps spared our state this terrible tragedy. We need to understand those things and do whatever can be done to ensure that this doesn't happen again.
You know, it's the stories that we read, just so unspeakable. The young girls lost, the families lost, the grandparents lost, parents desperately seeking to save their young daughters, to save their mother and father, only to have them swept away. These are questions that are going to be asked. It's what we do as Americans. It's questions we asked after Uvalde. It's questions that we asked after the D.C. plane crash and after every plane crash. And I'll tell you, Katty Kay, it's a question. As I was driving over to Mississippi and Louisiana every day in the month following Hurricane Katrina and just seeing the most deplorable, pathetic emergency response on the local, state, and national level I've ever seen, those were the hard questions that were asked after that point. Now, we're, again, far too early to say this has anything to do to Hurricane Katrina. I'm just saying, when there are people who are dead and there are going to be questions about what could have been done to save their lives, whether it's in a school, whether it's in an airplane, or whether it's on a riverbank. And of course, those are the questions that are going to have to be asked that people just can't wave away. And hopefully we will find that there was nothing anybody could do and that this was a 100-year flood and the water just rose too quickly. But state officials and national officials just brushing away any questions, it's only going to make matters worse.
Yeah, I mean, there is a tendency, isn't there, Joe, and we've spoken about this before, after a great tragedy, whether it is a fire, whether it is a school shooting, to hear that response, well, this is too soon to ask the question. But this is exactly the time to ask the question. And in a world where we know that one tragedy is followed by another tragedy, is followed by another tragedy, actually we have to ask the questions as soon as possible and launch the investigation as soon as possible and try to get the answers as soon as possible to try to prevent this. One thing that we do all know is that, ask any American insurance industry, we know that we're going to get more of these tragedies. As the world heats up, there is more moisture in the planet, there is more moisture in the air, and the rains are getting more torrential. The fires are getting more frequent out in California. And linking the dots there, I think it has to be done. And we're trying to pretend that this is something that is never going to happen again. It doesn't serve the people who live in these communities very well. And one thing I think it does suggest is whatever we find about the staffing in this particular incident, whether there were 3 people missing, whether the numbers were lower than they were during the Biden administration, going forward, again, ask the insurance industries in America. We need more research on these kind of catastrophic events and more work on these kind of catastrophic events if we're going to keep Americans safe.
Well, and of course, funding for climate change has been absolutely slashed. I always tell the story of my rock-ribbed Republican friend who's probably never voted for a Democrat in his life, but told me years ago, because he was in insurance, he helped run an insurance company, and I asked him, I said, okay, you're a Republican, you're conservative, tell me about global warming, tell me about climate change, is it real? He goes, is it real? He goes, let me show you my balance sheets, Joe. Well, you know, we are paying 10 times as much out for natural disasters as we've ever paid. The pace is quickening. Things are getting worse. Climate change is a disaster. That's coming from a Republican helping to lead an insurance company, looking at his bottom line. not hugging trees, looking at his bottom line. It's real, it's there, and I'm not exactly sure what Republicans in Congress think they're doing by sticking their head in the sand. But it's not good. Again, had nothing to do with this. We're just, again, projecting forward because we don't want to see this happening again.